Deputy Gordon, this screen isn't connected. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's on. Can you try to work your magic with that, please? All right, well, while we're working on a technical issue, Mr. Polanco, I gave to Ms. Yarber, and I know she left the other copy on your desk, the draft jury charge. We will talk about that when we have our charge conference. It is all pattern. I've amended it some to fit this case. And there's some parts of it we'll need to talk about after you've made your presentation, because there may be some things that come out if they end up not being demonstrated across the two presentations. But that draft is out there. You guys should review it during lunch or a break or something. Also, my office received an email from a gentleman named Michael Herman, also goes by Canny Lupine. And he raised concerns about being listed in Exhibit R8, and said he's not planning on coming to testify or this or that. And you've made clear who you're calling to testify, and Ms. Yarber hasn't added witnesses to that list. So I'm just flagging that Mr. Herman raised a concern about being involved with the litigation. He said that he knows, let me get the, I'm acquainted with petitioner online, so I assume that would mean Mr. Pine. Can you take those headphones off?
Oh, sorry.
Thanks. He knows Mr. Piner from online, and he met Mr. Terry once online, never met either in person. He's not from Georgia. And he says he's not involved in their divorce, and he doesn't want any false defamatory or libelous statements made against him. I don't think we've got an issue, but I'm just flagging that this gentleman shared his concerns with us. And I think that's it. Ms. Yarber, anything before? We won't bring the jurors in because we're waiting on this, but I just want us to be as ready as we can be. Anything, Ms. Yarber, from petitioner side? Okay.
I just had a minor thing. So I was looking through the exhibits yesterday, and I don't have the yellow label that is like, the court looking one. I don't have those traditional ones. I just basically wrote respondent's exhibit number. So I have these, but then I forgot that I had two over there yesterday. Are they still there?
There's a 21, and there may be one under it. I can't see. You're welcome to
I just
take a
want to
look.
make sure, because on trials, I have a bad experience of things like flying all over the place. And
Right.
sometimes I can't find exhibits at the end, and it's
Right. Well,
scary. So I just want to make sure that everything stays close by.
got it. So two things. One, I'm keeping track of exhibits that are admitted. I didn't get exhibit lists from you all. But we did confirm when Ms. Yarber said she was done with her examination of Mr. Piner, which she's admitted, and her list aligns with mine. You've admitted two so far, 1 and 21. I can see 21, one might be under it. But because there's no court reporter, each side is responsible for maintaining its exhibits. So you may want to get up there, you may want to leave them there because you're going to ask Mr. Piner about them, but you may want to get 21 and 1 back, because before anything goes out with the jury, after I've charged them, we'll talk about what exhibits have been admitted, and then we'll be using whatever set that you admitted to go back with the jury. Okay? Did that address your concern?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So I should be called first. I did ask for that favor, so if I can just, I don't know, well, I can stay here until she calls.
Yeah, why don't you stay here until they call, and If it takes too long.
It's not.
We're
I'm
gonna-
gonna make it very brief.
Oh, I mean, if we're waiting too long for you to be called, we're just gonna bring the jurors in and we're gonna roll.
Do
And
that.
you'll need to let, your federal friends know that, the jury came in.
All right, we're
Good.
gonna start with our attorney cases. It's my understanding Mr. Polanco needs to go first.
He does.
Mr. Polanco, let me just do these what I said I was first. Call my attorneys.
Deputy Gordon, I'm still not getting a happy anything from the witness one. We'll call IT. Is it on?
Yeah.
What's on the screen?
Well, it is.
Okay.
Do I gotta join the meeting?
Yeah, is that an on? Well, but I don't know how you would type in. I'm trying to make it join from here. So when I launch the controller,
You have the numbers?
yeah, you can type it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me find it just a sec. I will. And so I'm good. We set the muting. All right, so all our jurors are here, our litigants are here, and Mr. Polanco is in front of the judge, federal court. We're good. We will be stopping for lunch a little before noon, and it's a hard stop that I've got because I have a meeting. So we'll just see where we are in the flow and stop that.
Ready?
Excellent. Thank you, and thank that judge for taking your situation first.
Yes, thank God.
Mr. Piner, why don't you make your way up to the witness stand, please? Ms. Yarber, last chance, anything before we bring the jurors in?
Good judge.
All right, Mr. Polanco, you able to pivot from case A to case B?
Yeah, let me just connect to the new link that your Monica Stiles had sent for
Sure.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Meeting, join Zoom. I think I do it from the browser or the app. I don't remember.
Here you go.
And then it's share screen to do exhibits. Okay. I'm ready when the court is.
You are? Okay, let's bring the jurors in, please.
Um,
All right, jury.
Thank you, Deputy Gordon. Everyone else can be seated. Good morning, jurors. Thank you for being on time. I appreciate it. We are all set to pick up where we left off. Couple of scheduling things. We will be breaking for lunch just before noon, so my plan is that we'll just go between now until then. But if you need a break just before noon, let me or Deputy Gordon know. Otherwise, we'll go for a little less than 2 hours. And then we've got all afternoon, once the lunch break is over. When we ended yesterday, Mr. Piner was under oath. He's still under oath, so he's still testifying. And we were in the midst of the cross-examination, meaning questions from Mr. Polanco. So he is going to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Piner, who remains under oath. When you're ready, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. So good morning. again.
Hold on one second. Deputy Gordon, the witness screen is on, but it's not showing anything. Do you know what buttons to press then, or is that an IT issue? I mean, there may be something on that screen, but on Zoom rooms, it's like when it connects to the wrong camera. Okay. We'll reach out to IT, and we'll keep going, Mr. Polanco.
Okay. So, good morning again, Mr. Piner. Yesterday, we were discussing Exhibit 21, which was the TPOs, and we were trying to explain to the jury the sequence of events relating to that. So just to summarize, you had requested on July 15th here in Fulton County, a TPO, and it was granted, right?
Correct,
And it was served on your husband that day, correct?
correct,
So as part of that service, was he asked to leave the house?
correct.
And do you know where he went after he left the house?
I am unaware of where he went after he left the house.
Did the TPO prohibit any kind of communication, contact, or communication between you two?
Yes, it did.
And when did he violate, do you know the data that he violated the TPO?
And which violation are you referencing?
A week later,
The week later violation?
7 days later.
7 days later? I know July 21st was the day that he entered the home.
Okay, so tell me about that.
So, earlier in that day, I'd received a text message that said something about his car being stolen. I did not know what to do with that text message because they give you a sheet of paper and it says, what to do with the different violations and whatnot. And text messages are sort of, you might want to call non-emergency, you might want to come and talk to somebody about it. So I sent those text messages to the lawyer that I had retained to handle the TPO hearing after he had come and violated the TPO 3 days earlier. So I sent them to him to ask him what to do about those text messages. I didn't receive a response, by the way. And then shortly sometime afterwards, I believe it was around, I don't want to give a specific time because I don't have the exact time, and that day is very stressful for me. It was like 5:30, 6 o'clock-ish.
AM or PM?
A PM. We were, that day, the home had failed a fire inspection. So when you rent an apartment, they come by and do various inspections. A fire contractor came through, failed it for a fire hazard due to all of the hoarding and everything inside of it. The property manager had come to inside with her maintenance people. I had called my friend Jamie, and then I had a neighbor named Nadia, who was the neighbor that Chris had entered her home 3 days earlier. And they were in there and they were helping me sort of clear that walking path that the property manager needed cleared so that the place would be at least good enough for now, so that we didn't have to move through no evictions or anything like that, and I could have somewhere to live for a while. So we were clearing up and bagging stuff up. I had previously called the Safe Families office to ask what to do about his property. They said to get contractor bags and just put it inside of contractor bags and bag it up. So we were just bagging stuff up. And I had a storage unit. It wasn't that 10 by 10. It was a smaller one. I had to upgrade it to a bigger size one. But we had an outside closet as well. So we were bagging stuff up, trying to get that walkway clear when the door opened. And inside through the door came Chris with a bag on his back. And he started talking and saying things, and I got scared. I retreated to a back room while Jamie and Nadia blocked the way for his entrance. There was a confrontation between them. I was in the back room. All I could hear is the different conversation. As I came back from that back room into the living room, he had started to leave at that point. Nadia followed him out. We locked her out the door because, like, as soon as he got out, she locked the door. And so she came back banging on the door, and we had to make sure he was nowhere around her because there was, she wasn't as good as a friend as Jamie was. So it was a little, it's like very scary. And then as soon as we let her back in, we had to go find a phone to call 911 with, called the police. The police came out, they took everyone's statements, and then they issued, I believe, warrants for his arrest. And then they said they would go and, start looking for him in the car and all that. And then after that point, that was what happened that day.
Okay, well, thank you for that explanation. So on July 15th, you get the order from the judge. It gets served. He gets asked to leave the home. Okay. And then 7 days later, on July 21st, he comes back into the home. But you said that he also texted you.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the text message?
It was something referring to the fact that he had gotten mugged and his vehicle had been stolen.
So two things. So I've been mugged, my vehicle's been stolen. Now, when you say my vehicle, speaking about him, what vehicle is that?
The Nissan 370Z.
Okay, so it's Nissan 370Z.
Mhm.
Okay, and how did he come into ownership or possession of that vehicle? Or
He
you?
had purchased it from AutoNation after he had sold. So he got in the car. He signed his name to the title to get the car outside of probate, because normally you have to probate vehicles He just signed his name to the title, transferred it from his deceased mother to himself. And then it was his vehicle. And then there was an argument about his brother and his brother deserving half of the vehicle's value. So I kept working with Chris to try to get him to do the right thing, which is to sell the vehicle and split the proceeds with his brother. Well, we sold the vehicle. We bought a brand new vehicle down at CarMax. It was an Infiniti G37 or something like that. I'm not a car person. I'm sorry. I know it was a convertible. We purchased that vehicle after the Nissan had been sold. After we did that, he did not want the vehicle to be sold. He decided to unroll everything. Now, once you sell a vehicle, you can't, there's no takesy backsies with the dealership. The dealership just doesn't undo the thing. So we went to CarMax, we returned the G337, and then we went to AutoNation. I don't know which brand AutoNation it was. It's like AutoNation Hyundai or AutoNation Nissan or something like that. We went back to AutoNation and we had to repurchase the vehicle for more money than they had sold it to us for. Because one, they wanted, to profit off of a vehicle they were selling, and two, you have to pay ad valorem tax in Georgia all at once. So after we had purchased the vehicle back, which required taking a loan out, and then he reserved some of the cash to make modifications to the car, which included Japanese catalytic converter thing. Japanese exhaust, and then straight pipes where you remove the catalytic converter, and then you just have it go straight into the outside, which is not for emissions, but whatever. You have to go get it tuned so it passes emissions. So he did all of this with the vehicle, which is where some of the loan came from, because we didn't finance the whole, we didn't give them all the money we got back from the sale. We financed some of it.
Okay, thank you for that explanation, Mr. Brainerd. So just in the interest of time and just to sort of keep, stay on track, if you don't mind just sort of answering the question asked, so that, I'll try to ask the questions in a narrower way so that it can, I don't know, because I'm just trying to make a point regarding the car. That's all I'm trying to do. So you said that his mother had died. So did his mother die in 2018? Yes or no?
I believe she died in 2018. She wasn't, it was 2018, around there.
Okay. Was that before or after you got married?
Before.
Okay. So the mother dies before. He inherits a 370Z Nissan vehicle.
I don't know if I would define it as inherited, but he obtained a 370Z.
Okay. Well, you said that his brother was claiming half of the proceeds. That's why I assumed it was an inheritance.
Well, it wasn't through probate or a will. His grandmother just had the title and he just signed his name to it.
Okay. But either way, he acquired title to the car. Did you ever acquire legal title to the car yourself?
I believe my name was on the motor vehicle registration, but looking at the loan paperwork, it showed me as a co-signer.
Mhm.
I'm not familiar with Georgia law. I don't know if a co-signer has, when you pay the loan off, if you own the vehicle afterwards or not.
I understand. Well, technically, yeah, I understand your question. Okay, but the reason I mention all of this is because when the car allegedly gets stolen on July 21, right, a week after the ex parte TPO gets served and he gets ejected from the house, did you have any interest in the car yourself?
At that point, no.
Okay.
Outside of the loan, right, which is on my credit, but my credit's already ruined, so there's not a lot of interest in the vehicle for me.
Okay. So when he texted you, did he text you before he entered the home or after?
Before he entered.
Before he entered the home. So he texted you ahead of time and he said, I've been mugged. My car's been stolen. Did he say anything else?
Oh, he gave an address that was 40-ish minutes away, somewhere in downtown Atlanta,
Okay.
saying that I need, it was come help, and he gave me an address of where to go. But I had a TPO, and I'm not going to go to his address that he gave me for whatever reason he just described. He had every right to call the police himself.
Okay. Did he use those words, come help?
I believe he said he had some kind of call for help in that text message.
Okay. So then after that, how much time went by before he showed up at the marital home?
That was earlier in the day. And so he sent the text message. I'm gonna give a time range of like between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., 3 p.m., sometime around there.
Okay,
I
and you
mean,
said he showed up around the house around 5. Is that more or less accurate?
Yeah, around 5 or 6. It was late in the day. That day was really hectic, so.
Certainly. Okay, so then, so you said that you called the police arrived,
Mhm.
took his information, they issued arrest warrants. Do you know the date that he was arrested?
As of right now, I'm to understand it was sometime between July 31st and August 1st.
And, so he was.
Of last year.
Last year, yeah.
Of 2025. Okay, so he was arrested on August 1st, 2025 for sending that text message and going to the house after the ex parte TPO.
Correct.
Okay, what happened on August 1st,
August 1st,
other than the arrest?
that was the day of the 1-year family violence TPO hearing.
Tell me about that.
Joseph Foley, Mac, aka the Snappy, had flown in from Chicago and he was staying at the apartment to help keep me safe because Chris was wanted at the time and we weren't sure what he was going to do. His grandmother had already threatened me, and I was very scared. So I had a friend fly in. Jamie was also involved in a witness to the event, and we all got together. We took an Uber down to the courthouse. We went down to Judge Manning's, here on the 8th floor, and we had the hearing in which Judge Manning issued the 1-year TPO.
Okay, so was he originally scheduled or expected to be at that hearing?
Yes, and the TPO, it had the date and everything inside the paperwork. Now his grandmother had said something to me about him needing more of the paperwork or something, but you can contact the court and they'd give you a copy or whatever. That's not my responsibility at that point.
Okay, so he missed the opportunity on August 1st to go to the hearing.
He was not there at the hearing.
Okay, so therefore he wasn't ever able to be asked about the allegations that you had made 2 weeks earlier on July 15th. At the petition, we talked about those yesterday, the trash, the Febreze on the murder suicide.
The Febreze was not part of the ex parte TPO, but yes, he was not there for the TPO hearing.
Okay, and that was because he was already in jail?
I am unsure if he was in jail at that time or not.
Okay. Well, you said that he was arrested sometime between July 31st and August 1st, and the
Correct.
hearing was on August 1st.
Correct. I don't know at what time he was arrested at, though.
Okay. So how long, to your knowledge, was he in jail?
Was it about 8 months, I think?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you're his criminal defense attorney.
But we don't ask questions in that direction. Mr. Polanco will ask you. If you don't know, you don't know. And he'll get that evidence through a different witness if it's important.
I think it's around 8 months, but I don't have the exact amount of time.
I guess, when was did you appear at any hearings at in this courthouse, in March of 2026?
Judge, I'm gonna object to relevance for that question.
Where are we going with this?
So we're going to bias between the parties, which is always admissible. Animus, which is the definition of bias between the parties. And that's the point that I'm trying to make, if I'm just allowed to ask one more question.
One more question.
So was I in a hearing at this courthouse in March of 2026? I don't remember the divorce dates for all of the hearings, but I do believe that there was a one of those conferences that you have before the divorce in March.
Okay, but regarding him being in jail, did you oppose or consent to a bond being granted in his case after spending 9 or 8 or 9 months in jail?
Judge, I'm gonna object to relevance again.
I'll overrule it.
Response.
I overruled it. Keep going.
So I answered the question?
Yes.
Okay. So I did attend the bond hearing and I did give an impact statement in which I gave the judge either the option of denying the bond or putting conditions where he would not be able to contact me.
Okay. All right. All right. So having finished, okay, so last question about that. matter. Are those charges still pending? The aggravated stalking charges in the marital home charges still pending?
The victim's advocate from the district attorney's office has not informed me that the case has been dropped.
Okay, has he pled guilty? Has he been convicted of it?
I am not aware of him being pleading guilty or being convicted at this
Okay.
time.
All right, we'll move on. Okay. So I'm going to go back in time now that we are, we're.
Keep going. We're just trying to make the screen here work. So our expert technician is going to take a look. But we can keep going.
I'm gonna go rewind all the way back to the beginning.
You're free to rotate it, do whatever you need with that. Yeah. Thanks.
Where were you born?
Gonna object to relevance.
Yeah, these are just foundational questions.
Right, but if he was born in Texas versus Oklahoma, how's that relevant to what the jury's deciding? Doesn't go to animus.
The second two questions would have to answer that, so I'll just rephrase. How old are you, sir?
41,
Okay. What's your date of birth? Your year of birth?
1985.
Okay. Do you recall the year that you met Mr. Terry?
2010.
You said that yesterday. Now, do you know your husband's date of birth?
1994.
Okay. So if you met him in 2010, how old would he have been in 2010?
16.
Okay. So he was 16. You said you met online through a website called Second Life.
A video game, but yes.
Okay. Yes, it's a video game. Now, I guess for those of us that don't know about, for some of the juries that may not know the game.
Or the judge.
Huh?
I said, or the judge.
Okay. What game does that mostly resemble? Do you like one that everybody would know?
Minecraft, I would say.
Perfect. Minecraft. So, so you have these avatars, I guess, and you have your character and you have a name and you kind of walk through this virtual world. So you meet these virtual friends, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Judge, I'm gonna object to leading.
It's cross-exam,
Cross.
overrule.
Okay.
So I guess, can you tell us a little bit about just the first interactions or?
Yeah, he was on the video game and he messaged me. It's a very long time ago, so I don't remember a lot of what occurred, but he had a profile. It said that he was, 21 years old or 23 or something like that. And we became friends in the game after talking for a while.
Okay. So he reached out to you and, I guess what period of time elapsed between the initial virtual conversations to like an in-person encounter?
I'd say a couple of months.
A couple of months. And where did you live at the time?
I lived in Indiana with my girlfriend.
Oh, okay. And what state did he live in?
He lived in Arkansas.
You said that yesterday. So did when you first met, did he fly? Did you drive? How was that?
He flew.
And you testified yesterday that he stayed with you and your girlfriend at the home, right, in Indiana. But you,
Great Grandma Burl, if we wanted to be complete.
yes, so the girlfriend's grandmother, right?
Great grandmother.
Great grandmother. But you also said that, like, I don't remember exactly what the words were, but like that he overstayed his welcome or that.
Yeah. So that comes down to, when it was time for him to go home. And, we didn't know his age or anything at that time until his dad let us know about it. But he basically refused to go home. And then his dad got involved and let me know that he was going to report his son as a runaway if we sent him back home.
Okay. So at the time you worked for you testified yesterday that you worked for an online website called 10tonhammer.com. And that is a online guide for World of Warcraft, other MMO are OPGs. Sorry, my
RPGs.
voice is a little hoarse from fighting an infection, but, and so you worked at that company for 11 years, you said, between 2006, 2000?
2005 to 2016. I did do like volunteer work with them for a while before they started paying me.
All right. And this website, among other things, provides guides to players who play World of Warcraft and other online games like StarCraft, and counsels them on gear and HP and all of those experiences that you can
It was
have, right?
primarily focused on MMORPGs. I think we might have covered StarCraft 2. I don't know if we covered StarCraft 1.
Okay, but is that generally the gist of?
Yeah, it was
The website.
news, guides, editorials about like EverQuest, World of Warcraft, Star Wars: The Old Republic, EverQuest 2, that kind of stuff.
All right, and so then in 2010, there's this encounter with your spouse in this other website called Second Life, which is like Minecraft. And then there is this temporary move to Indiana. How long was he in Indiana?
So we stayed there until great grandma couldn't take it anymore. And I didn't have any money to move out on my own anywhere, so I was living with my girlfriend. It was the recession. So we then moved down to Statesboro with his grandmother in 2011.
But the we was you and
Chris.
Mr. Terry, not your girlfriend.
No, his grandma wouldn't let Crystal come.
So then, why did you move to Georgia?
Yeah, great grandma Burl was not gonna let us live in that home anymore because he had done some damages to her home. And so she was putting her foot down and saying that he needed to leave and that she wasn't really happy with me either, since, you know, I was involved in him being there. And so, you know, the onus of moving was, y'all need to get out of our house.
Okay, do you have any family in Georgia?
I have a brother,
Is that all you have?
a nephew, and a sister-in-law.
Are your relatives from Georgia?
Georgia and South Carolina.
So you do have family in the area?
In the general vicinity, yeah, they're a couple hours away though.
Okay, why did you have to move with Christopher's grandmother?
My brother wouldn't let me move in with him. I asked.
Okay. What about your nephews?
He was living with my brother at the time, so like, you know, they didn't want me to live with him.
Yeah. All right. So you said that you moved to an apartment in Peachtree Corners after that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you recall the year?
I want to say it's 2014.
You lived there for 2 years?
2.5, I think.
Then you moved to the marital apartment in Alpharetta.
Well, we moved to we weren't married at the time. We moved to an apartment up in Alpharetta because I'd gotten a new job and I was making some more money. And then he promised me that he would start talking again if we moved to another apartment.
Okay.
As in, he was being completely silent?
He was nonverbal at the time, outside of whenever he would get upset with me and start screaming, which was the only time I get to hear his voice. And so the deal was if we moved to another apartment, he would start talking.
This was before you were married.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the address of the recent marital apartment?
2207 Summerwood Lane,
Alpharetta, Georgia?
Alpharetta, Georgia.
And you moved there in what year?
2016.
Okay. So you lived there for a couple of years until 2018, and then in 2018 you get married.
Correct.
You testified yesterday that you got married in the living room.
Yeah, I think we signed the papers on a cardboard box.
Okay. Did you have like an officiant?
I mean, technically, it's our friend Mike, who he met Chris in Florida actually from Second Life. But Mike signed the papers. Now, he originally went online and bought the thing that said Jedi Knight on the website, but Chris was very upset about that, so then he rebought it as minister, because you've got to have someone to sign the thing, but we didn't have enough money to pay an official person to do it.
What was your job at the time in 2016?
2016 or 2018?
Sorry, I went backwards, but yes, 2016.
I'm gonna object to relevance for 2016.
What does it matter what he was doing in
Oh,
2016?
he had just said that he had made more money. I was just following up on that question.
Okay, let's go 2018 forward now.
2018, what was your job in 2018?
I was what is the word? It's, it had to do with SharePoint. It was a digital project specialist at Fiserv.
Was that the first year you worked at Fiserv?
I worked at Fiserv starting in 2016.
Okay. Digital project specialist at Fiserv, and Fiserv is spelled Fiserv?
Yeah.
Okay, now, is that you described it yesterday a little bit, but just, could you describe it one more time, just very briefly?
Are we talking what year?
2018 is fine.
Okay, so I was doing demand generation. So demand generation is when a business needs to get demand for their product. So in the B2B space. So my role was there was this lady named Monica, and I was taking over some of her responsibilities. So it was running webinars. So I would open up, like these Zoom calls here, like WebEx or whatever, for the product managers, people who design the products, and then the product marketing specialist to communicate to our clients why they should purchase a product. And then in addition to that, I did SharePoint work, which was on what's called an intranet. So there's the internet, and an intranet is like your internal internet at a company. So I'd help them with the SharePoint work. That eventually rolled into this tool called HighSpot, which is
I think that's probably enough. Did you need more detail than
No,
that, or
that's
is that
great.
sufficient?
So I guess my question is, does Fiserv serve as a platform to share financial transactions between institutions?
I mean, I believe it does, but that's not, I work in marketing, so I don't necessarily know the full breadth. It's a very large company.
Yeah. Are they in the financial services sector?
Yes.
Do they work with finance?
Finance, I would assume so.
Do they have, what was their role in developing the Zelle app?
Zelle is owned by Early Warning Systems or something like that. It's EWS. So they're actually a reseller for Zelle.
Okay, so they're reseller for Zelle. What other products would some of us recognize that you've worked on?
Oh,
I'm gonna object to relevance.
If you can keep the answer short as to what other products, you don't need to explain what they are, but hey, how about Lay's potato chips or whatever, like that type of product? Let's do that. Otherwise, let's move on.
I would say that I worked on digital payments. So it's anything with person-to-person payments or account-to-account transfers.
Kind of like Cash App, but not Cash App exactly, but like it.
Zelle would be something that you would define as like a cash app.
Okay, but you said person to person,
Yeah.
not so,
There was also this Pop Money product they had that Zelle was replacing. But again, I work in marketing. I don't work in product.
so you're more in the marketing department to
Mhm.
try to get these apps and these products out to consumers or businesses or people.
Thank you.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. What was your salary when you started at Fiserv in 2016?
$75,000 a year.
Okay. What was your, you said that you worked currently, not for Fiserv directly, but you described it, I believe, as a contractor to it. If I can find the name from yesterday.
Even 92, Virtual Marketing LLC is their official name.
Okay, and what year did you make the transition out of Fiserv into the contractor space?
2026.
Okay.
Or excuse me, 2025. Yes, 2026 now. Last year, 2025.
And what was your salary at what is or was in 2025, your salary at Virtual Marketing?
120,000, I believe, or 123,000, somewhere around that
Okay,
exact number.
okay, very good. Did your husband work during this time? After marrying in 2018 in the living room? Did he work at all?
He had several different jobs.
Okay, what kind of jobs?
He did like DoorDash, he did canvassing for nonprofits in downtown Atlanta. He did work that he wouldn't tell me about, and then he also had disability.
Okay. Yesterday, one of the things that you mentioned is that you got married because you didn't want him to lose his health insurance.
Mhm.
What health insurance were you talking about?
Medicaid.
So is that Medicaid separate from SSI disability?
So when you get SSI, you get Medicaid along with it
Okay.
from the state.
Understood. So they were sort of tied together.
Mhm.
What year did he apply for this? And do you know the basis?
I don't.
What year did he apply for it?
I don't know the year.
How much did he receive?
Whatever the SSI federal.
800?
$900.
That's a monthly benefit?
That's
as
a monthly
Best you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long did that assistance go on for? A
Until-
year, 2 years, 3 years?
I would say several years. I know it ended sometime around between 2022 and 2023.
When did it start?
Sir, I don't remember.
Okay. But it was before the marriage.
Yes.
Because you got married in order for him not to lose the health that came with it.
Correct.
So it was sometime before December of 2018.
Correct.
Okay. All right. In 2018 is when your husband's mother dies as well. We had a little discussion about whether your name was on the title or the car, the Nissan 370Z. When did you buy your Toyota Prius?
Oh, Lord. That was whenever the bankruptcy finished.
When did the bankruptcy start?
The bankruptcy started sometime in 2018. And then it was discharged 2019, 2020-ish. It's hard to remember when I bought the car because I don't remember it being the pandemic when we bought the Prius, because as part of the bankruptcy, my Ford Fiesta was repossessed by the lender.
Mhm.
So the Prius was acquired after you were married?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Prius was acquired after you were married, and do you recall what you paid for it?
I don't remember the exact number. It was somewhere, I can give you an approximation of about 30,000.
How much do you owe still? I think we talked about this yesterday.
I want to say like 12 to 14,000. I don't have the numbers in front of me.
All right.
I don't keep track of it.
Okay. All right. So in 2019, you also bought the dog, and you is a collective you, but so can you tell me a little bit about how the dog was acquired?
Yeah, we wanted to get a dog. Chris went and did a lot of looking around for border collies. He wanted a border collie, and I thought that'd be cute to have. And then he found one in Ohio. It was like stuck in a barn. It needed to be rescued. We paid, I think, $800 for the dog, and then he drove up to Ohio and picked it up.
Okay. Give me just 1 second, I'm sorry. Just in the interest of time, I'm going to give you 2 documents at once, if I may approach you.
You may.
So if you, might take a quick look, and I'm sorry, 6 and 7. If you could just take a quick look and let me know if you recognize them.
I do.
Okay, and can you describe them for us very briefly in one word?
These are the paperwork you get when you purchase a dog.
Okay, contract,
Yeah, I would assume this is a contract. Yeah.
and what else?
Oh, a microchip.
Oh, vet visit?
Yeah, this is a vet visit.
Okay, all right. Judge, I would tender D6 and D7.
Judge,
Andy-
my objection on both is gonna be hearsay. The documents do not seem to have been prepared by my client or written by my client at all. It mentions people that are not here in the courtroom. There's no way to authenticate either one of these documents. It lists a veterinarian and also maybe an owner of a kennel. I'm not certain, but both of the documents are hearsay.
Well, it depends.
So hearsay and authentication are different objections.
They are. I'm less concerned about the authentication piece because
Okay.
Mr. Piner can say, I'm familiar with this. It's the contract that we signed, et cetera. The contents would be more the concern. I don't know for what purpose you're offering me. Are there things in those documents that you would want the jury to rely on as affirmations of true fact that the dog belongs to this person and not that person?
Great question. So the objection that counsel has raised is, would be the business records, right? It would have to be the exception to the hearsay. That would be the correct way to block that. The problem is that I'm not offering this for a hearsay purpose, to offer the truth of the matter asserted. I'm offering it for legal ownership, which is one of the 4 exceptions that comes before you even get into hearsay analysis, right? So it's sort of like the state of mind exception, the I'm Elvis. You're not
Can I see
offering the
6 and
statement
7, please?
because you literally are saying I am Elvis, but because you're trying to show the person is mad. So it's a non-hearsay purpose. The objection is, the correct objection would be authentication. And that already has been defeated.
I think they were both good objections. I
They
just
were- they-
am
they were good.
overruling
They were
the authentication, and I'm now looking at these to see about your ownership.
So,
Judge, if I may respond, the documents still don't list either party in terms of an owner, if that's the purpose of admitting them to the court.
Right. How would either of these demonstrate ownership, whether it's Mr. Piner or Mr. Terry?
I believe the defendant, the respondent's name is on there. I don't have a copy in front of me, but I think it is.
It's not. I'll tell you what, you can talk, let's keep pressing with Sozo. I'm gonna hold on to these and we'll see if they can be admitted later, but I'm gonna certainly let you talk to this witness about the dog and how the couple came into possessing the dog.
Okay. I'm just gonna approach with another document. If you could just take a quick look. If you recognize it, just say yes. Number 8.
That's the dog and Chris.
Okay, just a photo.
Yeah.
Okay, Judge. D8.
No objection to D8.
Okay, respondents 8 is admitted.
Okay, thank you. So a picture of the dog, right? Okay. And I'm sorry, I could show the, all right, just take the document back and shoot. Oh, wait a minute, I do it through the, I'm sorry, I do it through.
Through Zoom.
Share. All right, so this is the dog Zozo that was purchased in 2019, right?
Yes,
It's a border collie.
yes.
How old was she when she was purchased?
It's a he.
A he.
Ooh, that's a good question. It's really hard with dog breeders to know the dates. I believe he was born in 2018.
Okay, so he was purchased as a pup?
He was a young adult, if you will. He wasn't a puppy. He was more of like kind of fully grown at that point, but he was still like a year oldish, year and a half.
Okay, all right. And you said yesterday when your attorney asked you questions about what your husband did all day. You said that he didn't clean much, the house was kept in an unkempt state, that he sat on a sort of like a papillon or a soft marshmallow,
Squishmallow.
squishmallow, and that he would just sit there hugging the dog for like large periods of time.
Yes,
You also said that you were at work a lot, that you were barely home.
yes.
Um,
Also did work from home at certain periods of time as well.
okay. Did you also say that he was the one that walked the dog?
He did a lot of the dog
He
walking.
did a lot of dog walking. Okay. So what is your attachment to the dog that it's sort of very vital that the dog stay with you?
I keep the dog safe and I love the dog.
Okay. And why does your husband not keep the dog safe?
He was refusing to feed the dog. At near the separation, he said that God would provide for the dog and the dog no longer needed food. He had left a large bag of treats on the floor and the dog ate a bunch of it and got sick. And it wasn't, I don't like that at all. But I did take care of the dog as much as I could.
Okay. So we've discussed the dog, we've discussed the Toyota Prius, we've discussed the Nissan 370. I'd like now move on to finances and some questions that your attorney asked about yesterday.
Can we take the picture of the dog down then, please?
Sure. So yesterday, one of the documents that you had submitted, don't recall exactly what the number was, but it was a Merrill Lynch. There were multiple Merrill Lynch numbers. You know, it had balances that were rather low, like
Correct.
$50 or 12 cents. You know, I guess my question is, why did you open a Merrill Lynch account to put such low amounts of money into them?
That's an excellent question. So when I work with Fiserv, you get premier status with Bank of America if you have your direct deposit. And part of that is that you get a certain number of accounts as a member of that rewards program, and they're open and they're free. So some of those accounts just existed because they were opened and they just sat there. But if you close that account, it costs you like $50, $100 or something like that. So it's cheaper to just leave it open. If we're speaking about those brokerage accounts.
Is there like, I mean, to my knowledge, is there a minimum? Like, you know,
No
for
minimum.
bank accounts, you have to have like, keep a certain balance of
Not with that.
500 or?
I'm not a Bank of America expert, but my understanding of the benefits that I received through that Premier plan is that you don't have a minimum before they charge you anything.
Okay. So were these accounts opened as part of your job in the financial services company called Fiserv?
I did not open those accounts in part of my role at the company.
So how were they opened?
I went onto online banking and when I signed up for the program, it puts up a bunch of screens and you just click around and do stuff.
You just click around. So if I just click around my online banking, I can open a Merrill Lynch account?
If it does a little pop-up and asks you if you'd like to open an account, then you click it and you can go through some of the settings and then it's open.
Okay. Okay. So you testified just a minute ago that you were or are making $123,000 thereabouts per year. And in the financial affidavit that you submitted yesterday, you state these balances, okay? Allied Bank, $1.39. Bank of America, 129. Chime, $10, and I'm gonna skip the cents. Discover Bank, $7. First Tech, 19 cents.
Is this, which DERFA is this? Is this the original DERFA or is this the one that was amended?
This should be the,
And can I have a
That's a
copy
great-
to look at?
that's a great
to go
question.
Along with you?
that may be the,
If he wants you to look at something, he'll show you something,
Oh,
all
okay.
right? But I assume he's reading from
I was reading the wrong.
petitioners 15, which is the financial affidavit that was tendered.
But the numbers are the same. I was reading the old one, but the numbers are the same as the new one. So the old one was approximately 4 months ago, but the numbers are the same, okay?
The old one
Just
was,
to- just for clarification purposes, the numbers are not the same. We submitted an updated financial affidavit on July 31st that has the most current numbers. So
Okay, and let's use those. It may be that the specific numbers that Mr. Polanco was looking at haven't changed, but I appreciate some numbers did change
Right.
from affidavit 1 to affidavit 2. We should all key off of petitioners 15 because that's what
Yeah.
Mr. Piner is saying is my current financial affidavit. I don't want him to be explaining old numbers when he said, no, my latest disclosure is X. So that's in petitioners 15.
No,
Maybe the numbers you said are all the same across them, but let's use that one going forward.
no, absolutely. We are all correct, yes.
Okay.
So the latest one submitted as Exhibit 15 yesterday was Allied Bank, $1, Bank of America, 129, Chime 10, Discover 7, First Tech, 19 cents, Robinhood, 23 cents, Cash App, Venmo, 0, PayPal, 0, Bank of America, 8, Truist, negative, Truist, a cent. Penn Fed, that was Pentagon Federal Credit Union. I believe that was the one that helped you finance the car, was it, or
yeah, they
the,
open a user share account when you open a loan.
so 500, and then another first,
Is this the latest one? Those numbers?
yeah, this is the one from yesterday.
Okay.
First Tech, $5, Cred.ai, $5, Atlas, $1. So that's all together, adding all those accounts, you have $645 in your bank accounts. Is that the balance of your bank accounts?
What's the number for the Discover account?
The negative was in the old one, and that was
Because
from,
the latest one I filed had Discover as negative.
Judge, if I can interject, council is reading the 12-month average balance and not the current balance that's right next to it.
Okay. Let's focus on current. I'm assuming you're curious about the current balance, but you
okay, yeah, that's right. That's my
Just wrong
error.
column.
I'm reading
It's
the
all
wrong
right.
column, yeah.
right
that's right.
document, wrong column.
Okay, so the numbers are actually, bottom line, I'm not gonna repeat the numbers, they're actually lower on the current balance rather than the running average, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you do have money at some point that pulls it up, but for now, as of, I guess, Exhibit 15, right now they're negative. But that could change in a couple of days.
When you get paid.
Or-
Yeah, when you
yeah.
get paid and then whenever they issue their statements.
Okay, so where are you currently residing?
In a one-bedroom apartment in Alpharetta.
Okay, so Alpharetta,
Mhm.
what's the zip code?
30022.
Okay. In your financial affidavit, which is your Exhibit 15, your sworn statement of your financial state, you declare an address near Georgia State.
Correct.
Zip code 30334.
Yes.
Why?
That's the Georgia Safe at Home program. As a survivor of domestic violence, the Secretary of State authorizes you an address to use in official court documents so that you don't disclose your address. So that,
Okay.
he doesn't need to know where I live, right? And then I can file papers with the court And then, you know, he can't find out that exact address so that he can't, you
Okay,
know,
all right.
we don't have to worry about any aggravated stalking or anything like that.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So I guess, like, what are your monthly expenses? I mean, just give us a general overview of what you spend the most. I mean, rent is maybe 1,500, car is 500, you know, the big
So-
ticket items.
Okay, so rent's around 2,100 a month, which is what they charge, and that includes electricity. My car payment's $220 a month for the Prius. I have to pay for my internet. Because I do work from home, I do get the nicer internet so that I can, you know, move bigger files around. It's around $280 a month. I have a cell phone bill that's something like $280 a month. I have to make all those, a lot of debt payments, so I have to pay Steve Koval. I have to pay him like $120 for 2 of the cases. It was previously 3. And then I have to pay on any of the creditors that I owe money to, like Kohl's, Truist. I think those payments like $75 and $53. And then I have to pay for like online subscriptions. So I think I have like a Crunchyroll, Apple. I have like a Google subscription and that kind of thing.
So altogether, how much would you say your payments to creditors are? Like Truist, everybody, every creditor?
It's about $1,000 a month,
Okay.
1,200-ish. I don't have the budget in front of me, so I don't know the exact little numbers down to
Okay.
the penny, but whatever I owe, I pay them.
Okay. But if you're getting 123,000 a year, your monthly checks should be between like $6,000 and $8,000. So I guess my question is, where's all of it going?
Rent takes up, you know, $2,100. And then I would say, you know, the car payment, other bills takes it to about 3. And then the debt takes it to about 4. And then the rest is on food, vet bills, subscriptions, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Okay. All right. Going back to the text messages, number 2. Going back to the text messages that we had been discussing yesterday. So I have a lot of text messages just between the 2017 and 2025 period. And this one in particular is from the 2018 period, so before marriage. And I had asked you yesterday if you recognize the number from which they came, just 449529451, and you said that was your phone number at the time, yes?
Yes.
This one, Judge, if he's wanting to tender it, I'm going to object to relevance. It's outside of the time frame the parties were married.
And he flagged that. It sounds like it was in the months leading up to it. It's from 2018.
It
Yep.
is, Judge.
What's the number? So we're talking about the same thing? Exhibit number.
Number 2.
Exhibit number 2. Okay.
It's more state of mind type stuff. It's not sort of the statement itself.
Is this the one, or should I say last set of texts that will go through that predate the marriage, or are there?
Because there's like a few, hold on, it's like the months right before, but hold on. I know it's 3 is also,
So talk to me about how either Mr. Piner or Mr. Terry's state of mind in the months leading up to the marriage is relevant to what we're working through, as opposed to maybe their state of mind
I
towards the
think
end
the
of the
court would
marriage.
have to see them and it'll understand what I mean.
Okay, well, why don't
It's
you?
not the statement, it's like I am Elvis, it literally is what it's, when they're not here.
Elvis is appearing a lot in this trial. Thanks. So I'm looking at 2, 3, and 4, Ms. Yarber, so you know.
Of course, relevance here say different things, I understand that. But, I mean, we've discussed 2015 issues, 2014 issues during the petitioner's presentation.
All right, assuming you lay the foundation, which you kind of already have, I'll admit 2, 3, and 4.
Oh. Oh, okay, thank you. We'll just discuss them very briefly. In the interest of time. So in the number 2 is a text message exchange between you and your soon-to-be husband at the time. In which you tell him on page 1652, stop spending my money. Do you know, are you a number 2?
Oh, number 2? Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so you told him, what, do you remember what you were talking about at the time, just from the general surrounding context?
Yeah, he often would take my money when I was asleep or not at home, or he would take and buy things that we couldn't afford. And it was very distressful. And this looks like an argument that we had in regards to that topic.
Okay. And the next one is 3. I don't know if it's 1739 or 1740, but take a quick look at that email, at that exchange. And I'm gonna ask you some questions about it in a minute.
Okay.
And just by way of review, D2 was September 2018, so that's 3 months before you get married, and D3 is October 2018, which is 2 months before you get married. Did you have time to read 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know, what were you generally talking about, just from the surrounding tech context?
So he constantly said that he had a trust fund, and kept that going for several years that never manifested. And it looks like I was discussing my frustrations with him in regards to some of the religious stuff that was going on with him at the time.
Okay.
And it looked like I asked him to clean. Oh yeah, and then I asked him to call Geico to get the discount you get. So on the internet, it said that if you owned even like a fraction of a share of a Berkshire Hathaway, you would get some kind of discount. That never manifested.
Okay. Share. Okay, what I was trying to get at was, this conversation. Okay, at the top of page 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And just tell me if this is, what you were discussing. So I found a cross on the rear view mirror this morning, and it sort of really drives home the point that I don't want to cohabitate with you anymore. You're not my type. This is a message that your name and your phone number is on the top of this bubble, and you're sending somebody else who presumably who is it?
I would assume that's Chris.
Okay, is that your husband? I mean, soon later to be your husband,
Let me look here. It's font.
because remember
Yeah, it's
this,
2018, so it was like a couple months before we got
this is
married.
October 2018, couple of months, like 2 months before we get married, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were at the start, but I'm really not into you, meaning my type. Okay. So then, your husband replies, you found a good hunting husky. Husky, is that a term that you use to describe each other?
He would call me a husky, yes.
Okay. And, you keep saying, you're not my type, da, 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 da. You're too different from what I'm wanting to go, that it's going to prohibit me from living my best life by living with you. Then he says, I love you, da, 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 da. And this sort of goes back and forth. But, on the next page, sorry, further down. Okay. In the middle, this bubble in the middle right here. So and tell me if I'm wrong, is this you?
Hold
right
on
now?
1 second. What's on that screen? It's too small? Too
Is it?
small. Thanks.
See, because I scanned it.
But you can zoom. Click the little
I can zoom.
magnifying glass with the plus. Go down lower right-hand corner
Lower right-hand corner, that one?
or left-hand corner. It looks right to me. In the application,
yeah.
there's there. Great.
Better?
Thank you, jurors, for letting Deputy Gordon know. A little bit bigger. We
A
got,
little bit? One more. Okay, oh, that's as far as, wait.
No, it
does
goes
go
further.
Yeah. Wow.
oh yeah, you can get it.
That's really, really zoomy. Okay.
Once you go down one, if you use okay, there you go. You're moving it over.
I'm still like
All right, great.
cursor guy. Okay. I was dreaming of a life where we lived in a high rise together and had black car service everywhere we go. I never imagined my life would fall to the point where I had a tchotchke cross hanging in my visor. Now, what are you referring to by that statement?
So when his mother died, he converted to Christianity. He had gone through a gay conversion therapy program, and that was a big kind of conflict for us because all he would talk about is Christianity and Jesus, and it was very frustrating to hear a lot of the things that he was saying constantly. This visor thing was he kept putting a cross up that would kind of block your view, and I don't think you're allowed to have crosses or dinglies on your visor in Georgia. I'm not a cop, so I don't know there's that law, but I kept removing it so that I could see when I was driving, and he kept putting it back up.
Okay. So did you say yesterday that your husband had gotten more religious after his mother's death?
Yes,
And do you recall what month was his mother's passing?
I don't.
Or was it in 2018?
I believe it was.
Was it before you got married?
It was before we got married.
We discussed that just a few minutes ago with respect to the Nissan 370. So a couple of months before the marriage, I guess his mother had passed, and that had caused him to have a religious awakening of sorts. And did this cause conflict in your relationship?
It did.
Okay, how? Describe.
Ideological differences in what he believed in and what I believed in regards to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Was that a doctrinal difference?
It changed because his views on Christianity changed frequently. But it was a very frustrating and difficult time to live through because, as you know, in Christianity, same-sex relationships or, two men being together is not very very common trope within it. And it was trying to figure out and align his newfound Christianity with the way that we lived together and then the way that the money was split up and everything. And a lot of it was that he would use that God had blessed him through me and that my job was this blessing that would flow into him or something along those lines. That was what a lot of those arguments back in that time frame had to do with. There's a lot more though.
Okay. Now I'm referring back to this respondents two, which was admitted just contemporaneously, 4 and 3. And I will try to zoom in here. And here you're just sharing some expletives between you. I don't particularly care about that. But I just want to zoom in on this part in which you're having an argument. Once again, this is September of 2018, a couple of months before marriage, in which you're having problems about money
Yeah.
and religion. In a minute. Okay. So you say, okay, so you spend money, force me to overdraft then. Why did he force you to overdraft? Did he have access, your boyfriend have access to your accounts?
He had the login and passwords, like, and there was nothing that he would like. I didn't have my own independent. He had his phone and it was his, but like my phone, my computer, my passwords and all that, he had to have access to, and all my cards. So he generally was autonomous with whatever I had.
Okay. So then this goes back and forth. How am I supposed to get the money back? I'm sick and tired of sacrificing expletives for you, expletive tired of it. And you say I went my entire childhood with nothing but pray on it. God doesn't need to intervene. You need to cut back. We make more money the less you spend. We used to live on $2,500 a month with $1,600 in bills. So that's sort of an argument that you're having about money or how you should allocate the limited resources that your household has, right?
Yes.
In that given month. And now I'm just going to ask you lastly about 4, which was again, in this same sort of relative time period before the marriage. Yeah, same month, October 2018. And there's, I guess you're having a fight of sorts, I'm not sure. So starting at the top, it just says, hold up, you're at State Bridge Road, get me. Okay, do you know what the State Bridge Road references to? Is that a Chick-fil-A or a Saxby's or something?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. But you know that he's there. Did you have GPS trackers on each other?
We had to find my iPhone thing because we were on the family account
Okay.
plan. But then also anytime you make a purchase, it shows up on your phone as like this charge was here or whatever.
All right, so I don't know, this is kind of small, but try to zoom it. All right, so it says you're at State Bridge Road, and I guess that causes some sort of altercation. It says we are 100% going to break up. I pay to God that he convinces you to leave me. I give my soul over to some people, my grandmother would have never said this name, Satan, willingly to live eternally forever in hell. Please let Satan take my soul. Please, if it means Christopher Ian Terry, that's your husband's full name, leaves my life, I will be a willing servant of Satan. I swear to God and my dead father's grave. I want you out of my life. I hate you other than anything in my entire life, etc., etc., etc. So I guess, does that ring a bell? Like, where was he in State Bridge Road? Like, I know that's in Alpharetta, but like,
That
was,
would have been, so we lived off of State Bridge Road, so I don't know where he would have been at
Okay.
the time. But yeah, I don't remember every argument we had, but this is in theme with them.
yeah, okay. But this was before you got married, right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
What number are you showing,
Number 5.
Ms. Yarber? Number 5.
It's just the first page. The bottom. No, not the first thing. Just that.
I don't have an objection, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Just, if I may, Ocean, and, just great, first page, bottom. Do you recognize that, as being your text messages to your husband on December of 2018 after the marriage?
Yes.
Okay, towards the end of the year, almost New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Judge, with that,
It's
standard
admitted.
D5.
Number 5.
Can you read for us, and I'm gonna try to publish it real quick. The bottom of page 1, it's a
Bottom of
two-page
page
document.
We are married. It's legally your money.
Okay, let me try to share it first, if I can figure this out. Okay. Okay, so you read, we are married, it's legally your money, right? So this is December 29th after you had got married. Do you recall the date of the marriage?
It was sometime in December. I know we signed it as December 25th. So it was sometime around Christmas.
Okay, so was it purposely scheduled around Christmas because it had a religious connotation?
Yeah.
How so?
He was very religious, and part of him agreeing to break up with me was to get married.
Okay. All right, and then on the second page, you talk about, you give him a couple of instructions.
Yeah.
You ask him to go to Panera, then Target, then home.
Yes.
Okay. Earlier in the text message, he's sending you pictures of things like sunglasses and I don't know what that is, if that's a pants or something, but do you know why he's sending you pictures of these items?
Yeah, because he liked buying things, and he sends some photos sometimes and talk about how he got some item that was worth $400 or $5,000 or whatever for some discounted price. He loved haggling, to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, okay, understood. Oh. Now, very briefly, what was the financial dynamic between you and your husband?
Difficult.
Can you tell us a bit more?
So he would spend the money as he saw fit, generally without asking me for permission, and then I would ask him if he could work with me on how we're spending the money so that we can, cover our bills and not have things be late and that kind of thing. Because when you have two people independently spending money that aren't cooperating with one another, it becomes kind of difficult in order to do things.
Okay, did he need your approval in order to make any purchases?
When we didn't have any money, I would like to have known if he was gonna buy things, especially if they were gonna become recurring commitments, like those buy now, pay laters. But if he was gonna go out and buy food or something and it was reasonable and we had money for it, I mean, I never really often objected to that.
Okay, all right. Now, were you the only breadwinner in the house?
I'm gonna object to ask and answer.
Right, we've covered, there was some benefits, didn't work, he was working, how his various salaries have gone up.
Okay. Did your husband ever try to get any other type of employment aside from the small projects that you mentioned?
He did try to get a job a couple of times.
Okay. And did you help him with that?
I mean, I gave him advice or talked to him with it.
Did he ever send you his resume, for example?
He didn't write a resume. I do remember I wrote a resume and sent one to him. I don't remember him writing a resume. He could have though.
Okay. And it's more efficient. Just give me a second, please. Mr. Pioneer? All right, I can summarize them for you.
See it, I just believe that the most,
I,
without him having to bring him in through your client to prevent objections. That's really what I think. So if you would.
ask him.
Don't believe it's the proper form, but here you go.
Is that?
He's
that
not
was
gonna
efficient?
be able to authenticate this.
Not that one?
I'm gonna, yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna check tonight.
I'm gonna give you a couple of text messages, but. Sorry about.
And the numbers are?
Those are 10 through 13 and 14. Yes, 10 through 15.
10 through 15?
We skipped 9. Yes.
Okay.
We skipped 9.
And they're all different snippets of text exchanges from that larger universe of the text download.
Yes, and they all only on 2 subjects.
Are they all now
Nothing really
post-marriage?
Yes, they're also, everything from here, from that point on, the last one is everything is after. Because it's chronological.
Ms. Yarber, did you have any objection to any of 10 through 15?
I believe that council needs to lay the foundation to see if my client recognizes anything that's going on. So I would like for him to go through the foundational steps.
Okay. As in, does he remember it? It sounds like we've established that these are all texts coming from these 2 shared accounts. And so it would be more, are you in a position to talk about what these texts are about?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I should be done soon.
Goodness, I can read fast.
Pardon me?
I can read fast, thankfully.
Thank goodness.
There's a lot of them.
Okay, so, Mr. Pioneer, in front
Let
of
me
you.
ask you 2 questions before Mr. Polanco continues. You could read those. They were legible
I mean, yeah,
enough?
they're legible enough, yeah.
Okay, I guess it's 3 questions. Again, we're working with your text stream and Mr. Terry's text stream. Is there back and forth between you and Mr. Terry?
Right.
And 3, in looking at those, does that refresh your recollection, not to this exact specifics, but in general, exchanges that you and Mr. Terry had?
It looks like an exchange that we had, although I would agree that I don't remember every argument that we had.
Okay, all right, Mr. Polanco, you can keep going.
Thank you. And are they tendered and admitted?
They are, well, you tendered them, I'll admit
Thank you.
them.
Okay, so, let's see. So I don't know if you want to put them all so you can see the number first.
Yeah.
So we go back and forth. It might be easier that way. Okay, so generally, these text messages are from the September to December, excuse me, from 2019 to 2022, different months, different things. But they talk about two different themes, okay? Either spending or overspending, or religion, sort of like marriage. And so I'll take the money one first, and then we'll do the religion one second. So number 11, 12, 14,
Okay.
perhaps in that order. Okay. So in this conversation, as many others, there is some friction between you two about how spending money in the house, right?
Yeah.
So you say money can't go down mysterious holes. I can't spend $40 on drinks and food and not know why. Well, you said you spent $30 at Costco. Where did that come from? And he says, I spent $11.29 and 59 cents in Costco. Okay. I said 25 to 30 for snacks tonight because I might spend, he says, because I might spend like 20 in here. Then he says, I'm hungry. I didn't eat but one meal yesterday, dude. And I'm scared to buy food now because the math is so confusing. I am hungry too. I waited for you all day to get up. I feel like I can spend $60. So I had to go out. Okay, dude, accident, let's see. Okay, and I guess at this point, there's some more expletives about 60% interest money, like it's a game to you, and you are not sure. And I guess he had taken $40 from the account, and that had caused some sort of spending more than $15 on snacks and 10 on eggs and hamburger. So I guess were there, I guess my only question is, were there a lot of these type of discussions between the two of you?
These were frequent, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. And that was number 11. Okay, so in the next one, D12. Well, before I go into this, I just want to ask, so did he make any strides, any efforts at getting a job and contributing money to the house?
So we've talked about efforts to get jobs.
Oh, we did? Okay.
We did.
Did he ever express an interest in getting a job?
I'm gonna
Yes.
object again to ask and answer.
Well, you answered. Let's not talk about, with this witness, Mr. Terry's desire for employment or efforts to obtain it. We've covered that.
All right, so in 2021, which is from where these text messages are from. Sorry. Okay, so do you recall him, or do you recall this discussion? If you don't, just, you can say no, it's fine.
I don't recall the specific discussion,
Okay.
but it looks in line with discussions that we had.
But in this conversation, he is saying,
So it's in evidence. The jurors can read it during deliberations. Mr. Piner has said, I don't recall the specifics, but it is entirely consistent with exchanges you and Mr. Terry had on multiple occasions.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
did he ever ask you, help me make an income?
He did.
Okay. That's all I needed. Going back to the religious, well, actually, one more. And I'll be brief on it. This is another discussion in which you're talking about money. You're talking about the amount spent on snacks and food, et cetera. There's a discussion at some point about how his father spends money.
Yeah.
That's on the last page. And for some reason, I cannot find what I'm looking for now. That's very odd. 6,000. Okay, I may have printed the wrong page because this, I can't read the number on the page. This may have been my mistake. Hold on. Yeah, okay, no, it's right there. Okay, in the middle of this page, which is the last page, yes. It says,
Can you magnify it now? Thank you.
okay, right there at the top, okay. Okay, so in there, you're basically saying that you're making $12,000 a month before taxes. Is that a statement that you made in 2022,
I don't remember
December?
that exact statement or this exact conversation, but I mean, I don't
Okay,
believe it.
but let's say that were you. Would that mean that you would be essentially making 10 times that would be 110,000 and then add another 22, so approximately 132,000 a year, which is
If
not
we
too-
add in the bonus, I was probably adding in the bonus and
Okay.
dividing it. I don't know. I wasn't the exact, that wouldn't have been my exact amount, but I might have been adding in a bonus or estimating or something like that.
Because earlier in the morning, I had asked you how much you make and you estimated 123. So maybe you were not including bonuses.
Right.
Discretionary
We're talking about
bonuses.
salaries and stuff.
Okay, okay. How frequent are the bonuses? Are they pretty generous, frequent? or-
It depends on the year, the company performance, my performance review, how my boss feels about me. But they're between anywhere from nothing to $7,000 a year.
Okay. All right, thank you. And then the last two messages are just also two discussions having about religion. And after that, I'll leave it to the court, maybe take a brief break. I can run through it and make a dash to the end because I'm almost at the end. But I'll,
When you say you're almost at the end of just these exhibits or of your examination of this witness?
well, I have to add some more examinations, but it'll be like this, sort of like in a block. And then after that, I'm done.
Okay.
with
Well, we need to break, so it sounds like this is a good time to break. Over lunch, I'd ask you to get those things organized so that they're on your screen, they're ready to go, et cetera. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first lunch together. You are free to go out anywhere. Just know that we're breaking for about an hour. So if you walk for 30 minutes, you need to turn around because you need to be back 30 minutes after that. There is a restaurant right outside called American Deli. People survive when they eat there. Thanks to FIFA and the World Cup, there are a bunch of new restaurants up Mitchell Street. So if you've been a juror before and thought, where could I go? There's now a Thai place, a Mexican place, a pizza place, a barbecue place, all a little ways up Mitchell. One of them you have to turn right on a side street. That's the barbecue place. But there are places to eat outside of Fuda, which is a vendor that brings outside meals down to that room on the first floor. I don't know what it is today. Sometimes it's Chick-fil-A or Chipotle or whatever, and you can eat whatever they bring over. So there are options. You don't have to eat at all. You may be, I don't eat much. That's okay too. I need you back in the jury room by 1 o'clock. And we'll get you back in here as soon as we can after that. Call the number if you get stuck somewhere and you're not going to be back at 1 o'clock. Don't talk about the case during your break. Talk about anything else you want. Not the case. No outside research. You haven't had a chance to ask any witness questions yet because we're still on our first witness, but we only have 2 witnesses in this trial. So we'll be halfway done in terms of witness count when Mr. Piner no longer on the stand. Any logistical questions? Thank you for your patience this morning. We'll start up as close to 1 as we can.
All right, the jury.
All right, Mr. Piner, you can step down. Please don't talk about the case with Ms. Yarber over the lunch break. You all are free to leave things in here, stay here. Please be back by 1. During the lunch break, I need you, Mr. Polanco, to get the rest of your exhibits ready to fly. And also both sides, please have reviewed the draft jury charge so that we can talk about that. I guess when we stop today, I don't know how far we're going to get today, but we'll have our charge conference when we let the jurors go home today. All right? Anything, Ms. Yarber, from your side?
No, Judge.
Mr. Polanco, you're good? Okay, thanks.
We could stay in here.
You can.